Hey there, it's Munchy Middlebrook Mama here. And in this video, I am going to talk over my top 4 tippity tips, I guess you could call them, on how to create a giving spirit within your child. Now, I'm going to be looking at my computer at my notes so that I keep on track. So if I'm looking away, now you know why. Alright, so number 1, set an example by being a giver yourself. Your example is one of the most powerful influences to your children, and they will emulate what you do or don't do. So, if you are always looking for ways to give and bless, your verbal and nonverbal encouragement in that way will lead your children. So, step number 1 is pretty simple. Be a giver yourself. And if you aren't naturally a giver, start working on becoming a natural giver and finding that intrinsic joy that comes from giving. Because your children are going to follow that example. And it will be the biggest example in their life. Number 2, take them with you when you are ministering. This allows them to see giving in action. So if at all possible, take your children with you. If you're taking cookies to, a booth where you're going to be helping hand those things out. If you are going to take some chicken soup to an invalid who isn't able to get out, take your children with you. Allow them to see the joy that comes from giving, from the joy that comes to you and the joy that comes to the person receiving that gift of giving. It's a beautiful thing to watch, and when your child sees that in action, it's really going to speak to their heart. Number 3. Think of a ministry all of you together can get into a habit of doing weekly or monthly. Something such as making blessing baskets, sewing preemie blankets, singing at nursing homes, on and on. You guys are creative enough, I'm sure, to think of something, a ministry that your whole family can do together. This not only creates camaraderie amongst the ranks of the family, but it gets everybody into that spirit of giving, that joy of giving. And when you have a lot of people around throwing out ideas of ways you can give, and that's just a focus, it's really cool to see how much blessing flows to your family and just flows out from your family to others. And how just, again, it's another beautiful thing to see that gift of giving when a whole family is doing that. And they're encouraging one another, sharpening one another in that way. Okay, so number 4, let the intrinsic worth of giving speak for itself instead of praising the giving. You want your child to learn to give because they see the value in it, not because mommy and daddy will praise them. Giving them affirmation is needful, but giving them affirmation is needful, but make praising them 5% of the focus, and praising the action and drawing the attention to the feeling of giving and feeling that value of giving, do that 95% of the focus. So what I'm saying is, I'll give you these examples. Example A is what you probably don't want to do. Aw, you're just the sweetest to give that toy to so-and-so. You're praising them. You're saying how wonderful they are. And what will begin to happen is, it's pretty harmless in the beginning, but what begins to happen is your child starts to give because mommy thinks I'm such a great person when I do. Or the neighbors praise me when they see how great I'm being. And sometimes it can end up puffing up their ego instead of really teaching them that gift of giving. Now, example B is something you could do. And that is, doesn't it feel good to share with others and see their joy? I was inspired to see you think of giving that, whatever it was, away without any prompting. You are not only encouraging that action, you're bringing their attention to, oh yeah, it did feel good to give that away. And you're saying, look, as a child, you just inspired an adult or mommy or daddy, whoever it was, by your selfless action that needed no prompting, no asking, no demanding. You just did it. And that kind of stuff will build a child up over time, but they won't build them up in their ego. They will remain humble that way, and they'll begin to learn that giving is a wonderful thing to do, not because of the praise they will receive, but because of the intrinsic value they feel and they begin to understand as they grow. So, I hope that all made sense, and I encourage you guys to go out there, start being givers yourself if that's not natural to you, and to start training your children in that way. These are really simple things that I gave you to do. They're really easy, and I have even started this, and I'm planning to start this with all of my children. So, I will see you guys next time.